Welcome back to Crossroads, a weekly community affairs program.
I am very excited about a new exhibit here in the Twin Cities. It's called Soul on Ice, and it features 52 artists of color. I'm talking everything from painters to sculptors, and two of the artists here with me are Christopher Harrison, my homeboy from the Spokesman Recorder newspaper, and Christopher Dean. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning on Crossroads.
Thank you.
Now, what is Soul on Ice all about? Everybody's kind of buzzing around town about it. I hear a lot of people talking about it. What is it?
Soul on Ice is a artist collective show. It's artists from all over the Twin Cities and Minnesota gathered together to show our work, show what we're doing here.
And these are painters, sculptors. Tell me some of the things that you guys have on display.
Very unique because we have an opportunity to show a group of 52 actually individuals from all over Minnesota, mostly African American. There's sculptors, there's painters, there's photographers, there's different types of artists of different venues and backgrounds, and it's really incredible.
So how did you guys pull something like this together? You can't get 52 people at a free buffet. You got 52 artists showing all their work, and some of the beautiful artwork is here on display today. How did you guys get that started?
Well, the Taiwu Artist Group, which we're a part of, Pat Phillips is kind of runs our group. She had this idea to have a show that really showed the best of what Minnesota has to offer as far as visual arts go. So we basically just put out a call to everyone here in the state who was interested. We actually got calls from people from other cities too throughout the country, but this is specifically for Minnesota artists.
And is this the first time that you guys are doing something like this?
Well, we've had exhibitions before, but this is the first time Minnesota has ever had such a large collection of minority or African American artists. That's what makes it so unique.
And you know, it's awesome for us to come together and put something together like this. Usually we only do this kind of stuff for Black History Month, let's be honest. Right. You know, outside of February.
And that was February.
Right, outside of February, right. You know, we don't really try to, you know, get something of this magnitude together. What does that say about African American art in the state of Minnesota?
Well, I would say that it's alive and thriving and doing great. I think there's a lot of really, really talented people out there. And we just need to find the venues to really show that. And also to have the support from the community also. You know, people to come and really, you know, appreciate, you know, even if they don't buy anything, just come out there and show that, you know, we have something to say as well.
And it's important to bring the kids because this is another avenue to show our kids that they can channel their energy, you know, not through the PlayStation 2 or the vulgar rap or the, you know, X-rated videos on BET, but you can get them off the couch, bring them down and let them see some positive, you know, images of African American men, you know, doing, you know, art. How important is it to bring the kids out?
You know, a lot of times as a culture of people, we mistaken the idea that culture is all about art. Culture is derived through art, and we learn a lot about our culture and the communities of color, communities of people, and through art and art making. A lot of times, us as a people are not as cultured as we could be because we're not expanding our minds and expanding where we can be, and we just, like you say, sit on the couch and look at BET or you know, videos or whatever, where we can go out into the galleries, which are always free, and take a look at the artwork and challenge our minds, challenge our conversations with our youth, our kids, and other kids. You know, it's really an opportunity.
Right, and we have a lot of stories to share.
Right.
We have a lot of stories, and we have a lot of really positive things to share with the world, our history, and things that we can do in the future. And that needs to be shared amongst all of us, not just our culture, but the world culture.
And we've got some pieces that we've got to talk about here. Now, this sister is baking something or doing something, but this piece has got to go in my living room. And they might be missing some of the pieces when they get ready to leave the show today. Who did this piece, and what's the inspiration behind that?
That's my piece, and it is called The Bread Maker.
Okay,
so you got it.
I was right on.
You got it. Yeah, and so basically this just is kind of a very kind of home kind of based piece. It's really just tells a story. It's a real basic, simple story of, you know, getting your home together. You know, making sure everything in your home, because there's so much technology today, and everybody's going so fast, and we kind of forget the simple things in life. You know, whether it's, you know, just cooking or taking care of your kids, things like that. You know, those are things that really, you know, make us feel more human.
And when I see this picture, I think of my grandmother. You know, like you guys were saying, these pictures tell a story to the kids. And I think of my grandmother baking bread on Saturdays, getting the meal together so that after church on Sunday, you know, we had the fresh breads and the food. And so it takes me back. How do you get a piece like that? What inspires you in your mind? I've always wanted to ask artistic people that. What inspires you to say, I'm going to put this on canvas? How do you get inspiration for that?
Well, it's really just life, just being observant about life. You know, just, you know, taking those little bits and, you know, you process all that stuff within your mind and in your soul, and then, you know, it's just something you have to do. You know, so, you know, and, you know, my mother was a big-time cook, you know, and, you know, and I don't know, maybe I got some pieces from that. My wife cooks too, and so maybe that's just, you know, something that came out from there.
Now, tell me about this piece, because boyfriend is getting down over here, and it looks like, you know, several layers and some. What's this piece all about?
Actually, that one is called Blues Guitars, and this is a collage, a paper collage. It's not a handmade paper. And yeah, basically, he's kind of singing to his guitar. Basically, he and the instrument are one. And that kind of tells you what blues is kind of about, because blues is kind of a channeling of our experiences and of our soul. And I try to get that through this piece. And since the paper is handmade, it kind of gives it that
layered look.
Right, that unique kind of texture.
Now, let's move over here, and I really like this piece with the African motif. Tell me about this. It says Journey on it.
Yeah, it's, the title of it is Journey Eternal, and it deals with the eternal journey of man and how we have come so far, but yet we still have a journey to take. And so I've included some collaged material. It's considered montage, which is the African sculptures of the heads, and then there's the journey of the fleet man, which is his unconsciousness of him journeying forward. That's where you see the swirls, and it kind of goes forward. It's comprised of oil and collage and acrylic, and it's a combination of things.
It's a wonderful piece.
Thank you.
Now, what's your inspiration behind that? How did you come up with that?
Well, I do a lot of reading. And I really enjoy studying art. Being through some of the art colleges and having an opportunity to see a lot of artwork, I've really had an opportunity to look at some of the historical pieces that I've really been blessed, actually, to see some of the historical pieces that exist around us.
Now, I want to ask both of you, what inspires you? Because you were talking about your wife and your mother, and you were talking about, you know, just kind of reading and, you know, going through the art colleges. What's your inspiration for doing this?
Well, for me, it's just something that you have to do. I think if you're a creative person, it's just something that's just part of your makeup to create. You know, you have to build things up. Sometimes you have to tear things down. But the goal is to, you know, put something out there.
I think my main inspiration probably comes through seeing other artists work. It also comes from just going through life cycles and the ups and the downs, and having an opportunity to create something when I'm down, create something when I'm up, and it shows sometimes in the work. It's therapeutic. It really is.
Exactly.
So instead of, you know, fussing at my husband, I should probably pick up a paintbrush.
Right. Get it out. You know,
Get it
it's
out.
art therapy.
Right. Now, we have this huge, beautiful piece here that we've got to talk about before you guys leave. What is that all about? I see about 5 or 6 different faces if I look closely. You know, there's some people in there and they're trying to get out. What's the saying?
Well, this one was called Reunion, actually. And this one was inspired from my experiences when I was young. We'd always used to go to family reunions every year. And, you know, you have all your family there. You know, you have your aunts, your uncles. You know, you have the kids. You know, you got your cousins. You know, so you got your play cousins. Everybody comes, you know, and it has a good time.